Okay, good afternoon once again. The topic for today's class is going to be on subject verb agreement. So, what is this concept of subject and verb agreement? Okay, so for that, I'm going to take some examples of sentences in English. Last class, if you remember, I spoke about types of sentences in English. I also gave you all an idea about what a phrase is and what a clause is and different types of clauses in English. So based on the information that we have learned with respect to the types of sentences in English and the clauses, you all are now quite familiar that every sentence in English has a subject and a predicate. Okay. Now, we are not going to discuss about the subject predicate, but we are going to discuss about the subject and the verb agreement in today's class. Okay. So what is the subject verb agreement? So for that, I'm going to first take some examples of sentences and I will tell you how to identify the subject and the verb. And then I'm going to tell you all the different types of verbs that you need to identify. And then I'm going to talk about how the subject or the nouns are also of different types. That is what is the today's session. Like when you want to learn subject verb agreement, you should know what is a subject, what is a verb, whether the subject is what type of subject is it singular subject, what in terms of person, subject has to be identified in terms of the person as well as in terms of the number, and the verb has to agree to the subject. Okay, the verb has to agree to the subject with respect to the person and number. So let me start with taking an example. Let me tell you that let's take, suppose if I say Hari plays badminton. Now in this sentence, you have to first identify who the subject is, okay, and what the verb is, not predicate. I'm not talking about predicate, I'm talking about the verb. So as you all know, a noun is the name of a person or an animal or a thing, and verb is the action done by the noun. So in this first example, Hari is the subject. What is Hari doing? He is playing. Plays here is the verb. So in this example, Hari is the subject, plays is the verb. Let's take another example. Now in this example, I sing song. The subject is I, and if you see here, the verb is sing. So in this example, I is the subject and sing is the verb. Let's take another example. Now look at this third sentence. I say he kicks the ball. So here in this example, he is the subject and kicks is the verb. Let's take another example. We run on ground. So whom are you talking about? We're talking about we. The subject is we and run is nothing but the verb. Look at this sentence. You hit the ball. So here the subject is you, okay, and hit is the verb. So in all these examples you can see, okay, Hari plays badminton, Hari is subject, okay, plays is badminton. I sing song, I is subject, sing is verb. He kicks the ball, okay, he kicks the ball, he is subject, kicks is the verb. Then we run on ground, we is the subject, run is the verb. You hit the ball, you is the subject, hit the is the verb. Now, before I actually come to how to identify, how to make sure that the subject and verb are agreeing with each other, a prior knowledge about regular and irregular verbs in English is required. Okay. Now, if you look at all the examples of the verbs in my sentences, you will see that I have used the verbs play. I've used the verb play. Okay. I've used the verb sing. Okay. I've used the verb kick. I've used the verb run. I've used the verb hit. Okay. All these are called as regular verbs in English. Whatever verbs you have seen in my examples are all examples of regular verb. What is a regular verb? Generally, a regular verb in English will take a different form in the past. Usually, either it is in the past tense, it becomes D, either you add D or you add ed. Most of the time, not all the verbs, of course, in English not all verbs take the ed form or the D form. Like suppose if I say I play, but the past form of play is played, so this is an example of regular verb. See, it changes its form. I sing, I sang. In the past form it becomes sang. So regular verbs are those verbs in the past form. You most of the time they take ed form, but not always. Now I say I kick the ball, I say I kicked the ball. So you see, I run, I ran in the past form. I hit, in the past also it is hit. Don't say hitted. Okay, that is wrong. So like that, you will take some more examples. Like for example, wash is the present form, washed. Okay, washed. Then you can take some more examples like wash, washed. You see it is taking the ed form. Okay. Then catch, catched. Okay. So these are examples of the regular verbs in English. So now, with this knowledge of regular verbs in English, the next knowledge that you should be having about the subject is a subject can be first person, second person, third person. Try to identify what is the meaning of first person, second person, and third person. So I hope you have followed the concept of the regular verbs in English. All these examples which I have taken are all regular verbs in English. So I said that to understand subject verb agreement, the knowledge of regular verbs is required, and I've given you sufficient examples of verbs which are regular. Now the next information that you should be knowing is the type of subject. What type of subject also falls into a particular category. Like if you see in all these examples, Hari is a subject, I is a subject, he is a subject, we is a subject, you is a subject. So when we talk about subject, okay, there are two things which are important. One is whether the subject is singular or plural. And whether the subject is, what type of person the subject is. Now, singular and plural concept you all know very well. Okay, the concept of singular and plural everybody knows. Fine. The concept of singular subject and plural subject. Like suppose if I say, let's say singular and plural. Okay. Now singular, if I say dog, dogs. Okay, cat, cats. Fine. Now these are all examples of singular noun, or subject is singular and plural subjects. Now I is singular. Okay. The plural form of I becomes we. Okay. Similarly, you, I may talk about you, one person. I may talk about many people. I may talk about you as a student. So you in plural form is also you. So in English, when you come across these examples like sentences, as I said, first thing is you need to find out what the subject is, or who the subject is, who is the action, who is the person who is doing the action, and what action he is doing. So when you want to find out the subject, the question that you need to ask is who is doing that action. Hari plays the badminton. Who is playing the badminton? Hari. I sing song. Who is singing the song? I. He kicks the ball. Who kicked the ball? He. We run on the ground. Who runs on the ground? We. You hit the ball. Who hit the ball? You. So when you ask the question who for every sentence, you'll come to know who the subject is. The subject is nothing but noun. Now, if you look at the first example, Hari, Hari is singular or plural. Now, the next thing that you need to find out is whether Hari is singular or plural. Hari is one person, obviously is singular. I sing song, obviously I is also, I am talking about myself. So I is also singular. He kicks the ball, he is also singular. We, now we is not singular. We run on ground means I am talking about everybody. So here we is not singular. You hit the ball. In this example, you hit the ball is again singular. Okay. So the next thing that you need to do is, okay, when you find the subject, okay, find out whether the subject is singular. Okay. And then when you look at the subject, you need to identify whether the verb in a sentence is regular or irregular verb. So all the examples which I gave you in in these sentences are all regular verbs. Okay. So before I come to the other types of verbs, it's very important to understand the second part, that is the subject. Subject should be either singular or plural. Along with that, you should also know whether the subject is first person, second person, or third person. Okay. So for that, I'm going to show you an example of what is this first person, second person, and third person. Now look at this example. Okay. I is an example of first person singular. Okay. You is an example of second person singular. He, she, it is an example of third person singular. We is an example of first person plural. You is an example of second person plural. And they is an example of third person plural. That means the conclusion says that, okay, whenever you want to identify person or the subject, what type of person the particular subject is, okay, it can either, of course, singular, plural, I already told you. A particular subject can be singular or plural. Along with that, it will also be first person, second person, or third person. So coming to that, we shall just once again discuss the subject part, whether it is singular, plural, and or whether it is first person, second person, or third person. Okay. So first person. Okay, singular, plural. So first person, second person, and we have third person. Okay. So I is an example of first person singular. You is an example of second person singular. Okay. And he, she, it is an example of third person singular. What about plural? We is an example of first person plural. Okay. You is an example of second person plural. And they is an example of third person plural. So this is a very, very important part of identifying whether the subject is singular or plural. Okay. So with this knowledge, now that we have understood that subject is a noun can be singular or plural, a noun can be first person, second person, or third person. Okay. That means the conclusion says that whenever you're learning the concept of subject verb agreement, okay, read the sentence first. find out who the subject is. Okay. After finding out the subject, check out whether it is first person singular or first person plural, second person singular or second person plural, third person singular or fourth person plural. Okay, these are the things that you need to identify. After that, after identifying the subject, the next thing that you need to do is identify the verb. Okay, if the verb is a regular verb, then what will be the form that the verb will take? Now we are coming to the interesting part. As I told you, regular verbs in English are those verbs which generally take a very ed form or d form. Most of the time, not all. Okay, usually these are the verbs where the action performed by the doer can be imagined. Like when I say he plays, you can imagine that he's playing badminton. If I say Hari plays badminton, you can imagine. The verb play generally tells that, it helps you to imagine what that person is doing. Okay, play, sing, kick, run, hit, all these examples are examples of regular verbs. Now we shall see how the regular verbs in English will change the form based on the subject. Now I told you what is the first thing you need to do. Identify the subject. First check whether the subject is first person, second person, third person, and then check whether it is singular or plural, and based on that the verb will change the form. Now look at this exam. Now we shall take regular verbs and see how the sentences will change. Now let's take with the verb work. Okay, let us take the verb work. Now in first person singular it becomes I work. Okay, we say we work. Okay, then you work. And then you say you work, second person plural. Then here it becomes he works, she works, it works, and they work. So what is the conclusion, friends? You can find that the regular verb work, everywhere it remains work, work, work. Where is it changing? Third person singular. Where is it changing? It changes in third person singular. You can see work becomes works in third person singular. Let me highlight this. Okay, let's take another example. Let's take another example. Play. Let's take the verb play. Now I want to say I play, then we play. Okay, you play. I may suppose there is one boy in front of me. I say you play. Or I may have some children in front of me. I say you play. I may be referring to children. Now see here. What happens? He plays, she plays, it plays, and they play. I'm talking about some third person, plural, they play. There may be some girls who are there whom I can see, and I'm saying they play. What is happening, students? You can see the verb play, which is a regular verb. Everywhere it remains play, but when it comes to third person singular, it becomes plays. Let's take one more example. So you can say, I dance. Okay, I dance, and I say, we dance. This is singular, plural, first person plural. Suppose if there is one girl in front of me, I say, you dance. And then I find there are some few girls in front of me whom I'm teaching dance, then I say, you dance. Okay, then they dance. Suppose there are some students in front of me who are dancing, I say, they dance. But I say, he dances, she dances, it dances. It can be any object. So again, you will notice, students, that third person singular, what happens? Dance becomes dances. So what is the conclusion? The conclusion is that whenever you're framing a sentence in English, okay, if the subject that you are using happens to be third person singular and the verb that you are using is a regular verb, it ends with s, okay, rest all places it will not change the form. So this is the conclusion. So see here, regular verbs will follow a pattern, okay, it is predictable, that is in the third person singular the regular verb always ends with s. Now you may ask a question. Now there are some verbs which end with s, there are some verbs which end with sh, x, ch and s. What happens to these verbs if they are ending with sh? Let's take example of these verbs, okay. I'll take examples of verbs which end with, let's say, sh, okay, x, ch and s. So verbs that end with sh are can be bash, okay, dash, x can be fix, it can be kiss, it can be mix, verbs that end with ch, attach, catch, here it can be kiss, can be toss, okay. So what happens in all these examples, okay, let's say I bash, you bash, he bashes, she bashes, it bashes, so it becomes bash become bashes in the third person singular, okay. Then dash, I dash, you dash, she dashes, he dashes, it dashes, so it becomes dashes in the third person singular, remember that. Otherwise all regular verbs will follow the same pattern, it will not change its form, it will change its form to es. If the verb is ending with sh, it becomes es. Now I fix, you fix, he fixes, she fixes, it fixes, I mix, you mix, okay, he mixes, she mixes, it becomes es in the third person, okay. I attach, you attach, he attaches, she attaches. Then I catch fish, you catch fish, she catches fish, it catches fish, he catches fish. See, catch becomes catches. Then I kiss, you kiss, he kisses, she kisses. So it becomes es. Then toss. Okay, I toss, you toss, he tosses, she tosses. So in all these are all examples of verbs that end, any verb that ends with sh, x, ch or s. Okay, you have to end it with es. The verb will become es in the third person singular. So this is the first rule of subject verb agreement. With this rule, if you remember that third person singular is a special case for regular verbs, you will never make any mistakes. Okay, now look at this example. He dashed to the office every day. Whenever you have been given questions on subject verb agreement wherein you are asked to make sure that you select the right form of the verb, okay, what is it that you need to do? You have to find out. Now who is he is third person singular, so third person singular is a special case. The verb is walk, okay, the verb is walk, which is regular verb. So he is a third person singular. The answer is he walks to the office every day. Now they, who is they? They is nothing but third person plural. What is the type of verb here? Conduct, okay, regular verb. For all regular verb, remember one thing, regular verbs will change, it become s, you have to add s only when it is third person singular. But they is not third person singular. What is they? They is an example of third person plural, so they conduct the interview, so it is not third person singular. Next, here Then I dash the yearly gross income of the company. Now I is first person singular, so I say answer is I calculate the yearly gross income of the company. Next, Satya Nadella. Now the question is, who is Satya Nadella? Whether he is first person? No. Is he second person? No. He is some third person. Instead of saying he, I'm telling the person's name as Satya Nadella. So all proper nouns in English are coming to the category of third person singular. So Satya Nadella is third person singular. Fix becomes fixes. Satya Nadella fixes meetings with his clients every Thursday. Next, you. Now you can be one person or many people. So you is an example of second person singular as well as second person plural. So as I said, only for third person singular, the regular verb ends with es. Remember, or s. Okay. So you read before you go to bed. So if you are able to remember this rule, okay, I will repeat once again. Whenever you come across subject verb agreement, you want to ensure that the subject and the verb are taking the correct form in English. What is the first thing you need to do is read the sentence, find out who the subject is. Once you find out the subject, find out whether the subject is first person, second person, or third person. Okay, and then check whether it is singular or plural, and then check whether the verb is regular or irregular. I have not yet come to irregular verbs. I'm going to take irregular verbs later. If the verb is regular, then remember the verb will change to s. S gets added or es gets added to regular verb only in the third person singular. If you can remember this formula for regular verbs with the subject, you will never make any kind of mistakes. Okay, so this is a part of subject verb agreement that I have taken today. Okay, this is just one part. This is just one part of the subject verb agreement that I have taken today. Okay, without taking the slides, I've tried to explain you with examples. Let us just have a short recap of what we have studied. Agreement in grammar means ensuring that the parts of a sentence connects with one another in the right manner. Parts of a sentence here, it means the subject and the verb. Okay. Thus, the manner in which we use subject should agree with the way you render your verb. Okay. Now, in all these examples, you can see the verb form in sentence changes depending on the subject. Now, look at this example. Shirley. Who is Shirley? Third person singular. Manages the entire office. Manage become manages. If I say I manage, you manage, they manage, we manage. Okay, but he manages, she manages, it manages. So here instead of he and she, we are using Shirley. Shirley is third person singular. Then I work for a financial corporation. First person singular, work remains work. The group. Now look at this. The group meets. Now who is this the group? Okay, now here the group is one entity. Group is one entity. It is third person singular. In this example, group becomes third person singular because you're considering it as one entity. Group as one entity. The group meets every week to discuss the updates. She is again third person singular. It becomes watch becomes watches. In the previous example, I meet, you meet, we meet, they meet, he meets, she meets, it meets. Group here is an example of third person singular. It becomes meets. She is again an example of third person singular. Watches the opera show. A lot of money. Now in the last example, you can see it's very difficult. Usually when I ask students in my class for the last example, which is the subject, they say money is the subject. A lot of money, it's correct. But what is the verb here? They say donated. Actually, donated is not the verb in this example. Okay. Is in this example, the verb is, which comes under irregular verbs. I have not taken the concept of irregular verbs in today's class. I'm going to continue the concept of subject verb agreement in tomorrow's class. But as of now, remember how to, I hope you people have followed how to use how to change the form of the verb when the verb is regular with respect to the subject. Okay. Then coming to the next part, I told you whenever you come across a sentence, identify the subject. Okay, every verb must have a subject in a sentence. When the verb expresses an action like read, work, manage, which are all examples of regular verb. Okay, The subject is who or what does the action. You need to ask the question, who is the person? Thus, in the previous slide, okay, Shirley, she, I are subjects and verbs are manages, work and is. Identify subject and verb. So how should the verb agree? The verb must agree with number and person. Number means whether the subject is singular or plural, and person can be first person, second person, third person, which I already told you. Now look at this example. Singular subject will have singular verb. Now Mark Zuckerberg is the founder of Facebook. Now in this example, Mark Zuckerberg is the subject. Is the verb. Now there is no regular verb. Is an example of irregular verb. So is is a singular verb. Okay. Now if there is if in this example Mark Zuckerberg is one person, singular. Now look at this example. Sachin Bansal and Binny Bansal are the co-founders of Flipkart. Now I will not come to is and are in today's class, because is and are examples of irregular verbs. However, you can see when the subject is singular, verb is singular. Is an example of singular verb. When the subject are plural, now here you're talking about two people, Sachin Bansal and Binny Bansal. So you cannot say Sachin Bansal and Binny Bansal is the founder. Here it becomes are. Okay. And then I told you that for regular verbs, all the regular verbs in English follow the same pattern. They never end with S. Only third person singular is a special case, and I took this particular exercise. So for today's class, okay, this much is sufficient for you to understand. Tomorrow what I will do is I will give you an introduction to irregular verbs in English, because not every sentence in English will have regular verbs. You will come across verbs which may not be regular verbs. So if it is a regular verb, how we should identify or how we should pick the right verb. Okay, that is what I'm going to teach in tomorrow's class. So I will end the session. I'm going to close my today's topic over here. Okay, I will just unmute you people, and I hope that you people have understood. Any doubt? Have you all understood? I've unmuted. Please answer me. Has everybody followed the concept? Any doubts? Any queries? Did you understand today's topic? Guys, please reply.
No doubt, ma'am. No.
I'll be sending you all the. I will be uploading this on YouTube. Plus, I will also send you share the PPT. But tomorrow's class, I'm going to continue with subject verb agreement. I hope this concept is clear.
एग्जाम होने के बाद
Yes or no?
जाके एक बार कंपनी देख के आएंगे और then
Somebody is talking behind. I'm asking you some question.
आएंगे. कोमल क्या बोली? कोमल को पूछी तू?
Yes, ma'am. No doubt.
इंटर्नशिप के
Yes,
बाद
ma'am.
Okay, fine. Thank you very much. Tomorrow we'll meet at 12 o'clock again.
Sure, ma'am. Sure.
Yeah. Okay, fine. Thank you.
वो थोड़ा कंजर्व्ड लगती मुझे.